So today I'm going to take you through my Vanguard IRA account, so definitely stick around. Hello fellow wealth builders and welcome back to the TruFinancials channel. As I just mentioned, today I'm going to be taking you through my Vanguard IRA account. But first, if you are new here, my name is Dennis, and on this show, we love to talk about personal finance, investing, and retirement to help build your wealth. So definitely consider subscribing today, and don't forget to hit that little bell icon to get notifications when new videos and live streams go up. So before we get onto the computer and show you the screen here, just a couple little things I want to mention is first and foremost, I'm just showing you guys this not as a way to gloat, of course, but as a way for other people to understand, how other people live their lives and their personal finances, because it might help you in your journey when it comes to building wealth. And then the other thing, of course, as well, is that I am not a financial advisor. So if you have certain types of questions that I cannot answer in the comment section down below, I highly encourage you to have a conversation with a CPA, or if you can, to have a great conversation with the fine folks at Vanguard. And then one last thing before we get into it is let me know in the comment section down below, how do you feel so far with your retirement account? Do you feel like you're on track? Are you kind of behind? Or do you feel like you're well ahead and you're feeling very comfortable with what you have in your current retirement account? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd definitely like to hear from you in the community. All right, so a little bit of backstory as well too when it comes to the whole Vanguard IRA account was, first and foremost, this was actually a 401k with the old company that I was working for, and I started it as soon as I was eligible for it. And since then, I matched to what they were giving us for our 401k match, and then I started increasing it over time as well, so I had a really nice chunk of money in there. And what ended up happening was when I left to go traveling for a year, of course, I stopped working for that company. And what ended up happening was I just left that money sitting in the account, and it grew a little bit. But what ended up happening is it wasn't growing enough to the point where I was really comfortable or happy with it. I had a little bit of control of what I was able to invest in, but it was very limited in that account. So while we were traveling over that year, I started looking at different companies and looking at different brokerage accounts to be able to transfer my money over to. So at the end of that research, I ended up choosing Vanguard. I will make a dedicated video on why I chose Vanguard over some of the other brokerage accounts for my retirement. But just in the quick, easy kind of quick synopsis thing is it was very easy to do a rollover first and foremost, because I did end up rolling my 401k over to Vanguard, which I also do have a video, and you can check that out after this one is completed, and I'll link it up here above for you. So that way, if you are interested in doing a 401k rollover, you can definitely check that out. It was a lot easier than I expected when it came to doing that rollover, but Vanguard just made a lot of things very easy for me. So as I mentioned, I will go into more detail in the near future on a specific video on why I chose Vanguard. But overall, very happy with it so far. Now we're going to go ahead and jump in and actually get to take a look a little bit into the account. So what we're going to see here at the very top, of course, is going to be a large number here. It's going to be $39,496.01. And that is actually the most up-to-date number here. You're also going to see a number down here at $39,519.62. This number doesn't get updated as quickly as the number that you saw up here at the very top. Now, also, too, I just want to make sure that I re-mentioned it again, that I'm not using this to gloat on these numbers. This is not even, in my opinion, the best that I could be doing when it comes to my retirement. I just want to make sure that other people can see this and kind of get a better understanding of their retirement account if they already have one, or if they want to get started, kind of what their expectations can be, because I know a lot of times the fear of not knowing what to expect can stop us from doing certain things, which comes, of course, to saving up for retirement. And to me, that's a big deal. I love the idea of people saving for retirement. So it always makes me happy when I hear people in the comment sections or people send me emails telling me that they either started their retirement or decided to actually add more to their retirement because I gave them that inspiration to be able to continue moving forward with their wealth building. So there are two other numbers here to look at. So the first one here where it says purchases and withdrawals is $32,802.50. So that is actually the money that I rolled over from my 401k into this IRA account. And then the investment returns is that $6,717.12. That's the money that I've earned over the course of the time that I've had the money in the account. Now, the interesting thing about actually recording this video now is the money's actually been in the account for almost exactly a year at this point. So this graph is actually going to be a really good snapshot of where the money's kind of been moving up and down over the course of the year. Now, as I mentioned, if you guys enjoyed this type of video, hit that like button so I know to make more. But if other people are interested, I can probably do this every 6 months or once a year when it comes to kind of showing, how the money's growing in the account, and, also to which funds are kind of doing the best work over that course of the year. So you probably probably were looking at this green chart as well, and you kind of see it kind of going up here and then kind of goes down and goes back up. Now, if you've been following the budget reports where I have my net worth, you're actually going to see this dip here with those budget reports because, of course, the net worth did go down during that stock market kind of downturn. And you can see it right over here very clearly on the map. And the reason that's important to know is because that does happen from time to time when it comes to the stock market. So if you're aware of those situations, if you're aware that stuff does happen, it doesn't frighten you the same way it might do for other people that aren't paying attention to where their money's going or how it's actually even growing in that respect. So what you're going to see here is this is actually that $6,717 that we have from our investment return. So of course it started at $0 when I first rolled over that money. And then you're going to see over time that money continued to grow. So now over here, we're going to hit a very high point before we go down. So you're going to see the end balance here. So the end balance at the end of December was $38,697.08. And then after that, of course, we see the decline. And after that decline, we end up going back up. So we had a really good time over the course of towards the end of April and May. So right here at the beginning of June, we were going to see that we're sitting at a total of that $39,519. So that growth definitely came back because that's what we were expecting as the markets do go up and down. But this is all money that has grown over the course of 1 year. And as I mentioned, when I had that money left with my old company, the money grew about 2,000 and some change over the course of me leaving that company and then being able to roll over to Vanguard. So that was about a year's time as well. So I took it from having a $2,000 growth in 1 year to having it at over $6,700 growth in the second year because I was able to control more of the money and where it was invested in and how it was growing. So I'm, of course, very happy with these results. This is actually not adding anything to my retirement, as you might see when it comes to the budget planning and the reports. I don't actually add anything currently to it. I am, however, planning on eventually adding more money to these retirement accounts so that way we can continue to grow when it comes to our net worth, to our retirement accounts. But as of right now, I'm very pleased with how much we've grown over the course of just the 1 year since I have actually had more control over my personal retirement account. So what I'm going to also do here, I'm going to hit the balance button over here. Now this blue bar over here that you're going to see is actually going to be how much is in total in the account. So you're going to see, it started right over here and then it kind of went up a little bit and you saw the dip, of course. And then that green right over here is that money that we've earned over time. So as you see, it consistently keeps going up. It had that downturn, but it goes up again. So over time, the hope is that earnings that we get from the investments actually gets bigger and bigger to the point where it becomes more than what we initially invested in. And also too, I always like to tell people, you'll see those graphs online when it comes to saving up for retirement. You'll see them kind of like go like this and then they just skyrocket up. That's kind of the intent, is to the point where your investments earn you so much more than the actual amount that you put into it, that it just skyrockets up because the more you have, the more it keeps growing. So, to me, this number is really nice. I can't wait to have it consistently grow up higher or go up higher and higher because that way the investments are working for me instead of me working for them. And I know a lot of people are kind of curious on where I'm, holding all this money into when it comes to the funds. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that next. So these are the funds that I'm invested in. Now I have 6 total that I'm invested in. A couple of them are somewhat similar. And I know sometimes people will look at that and be like, well, you don't necessarily need to, but it makes me feel comfortable to be even a little bit more diverse in that regard. So I'm very happy with what I'm invested in. Obviously, you saw the growth that I've had over the course of the year. So I hope to continue doing that by investing in the same things that I'm currently invested in. So you will see them here. So that VEXPX, that is the symbol for the fund that I'm currently in. Some of these are exclusively to Vanguard on their own platform. I believe some of them might be available on other platforms as well, but you would have to check on that on your own. But these are where they're at, and these are the prices that they were at. And of course, it looks like it wasn't a great day at the end of this day of recording, which was June 18th. We had 2 of the funds actually go positive, and then 4 of them actually go down a little bit on there as well. But overall, it's looking so far so good with the overall year-to-date numbers that we're sitting at. So you can go into more detail on these, and I do also plan on going into detail on these different funds on a separate video as well, because I do want to start getting more into the retirement aspect on this channel as well. So if you enjoy that, definitely make sure you're sticking around and paying attention to when those videos go up. I don't have exact dates on those. I just kind of will be posting them. I do have a separate color on the thumbnails. They're going to be more of a brown color, so you can know that those are retirement videos if you're only interested in those, or if you're not interested in them, you can kind of skip on those. So as you see, the very first fund is the Vanguard Explorer Fund Investor Shares. So that one is going to be a little bit more where it's kind of like looking for small businesses that are going to potentially grow. So it is a little bit more volatile, but it definitely does give a lot more return when it comes to the investments. The Vanguard 500 Index Fund, of course, that one follows the S&P 500. So that one's kind of very steady, not too crazy, but it really does help kind of have a better understanding of where the market is based off of how well this fund personally does. So this fund right over here, the VFSVX, is going to be the international fund that I have. So that one is so that I can be a little bit more international. I don't put too much into that one. As you see, it's one of my lower amounts that I have in the group. And so that one's just a little bit invested in. Then I have a growth index fund. And then I also do have a growth and income fund, which does help out when it comes to like dividends and being able to reinvest in those. And I do have another growth fund that also helps out when it comes to being able to be more aggressive. Because of my younger age, I can be more aggressive in the investments, so that way I can earn more, and that way my funds can continue to grow bigger and better over the course of time. As I get closer to the ages of retirement, I would definitely consider, slowing down on being as aggressive, being more partial to like the growth and income portions. But of course that comes with time. And so I'm willing to take a little bit more of the risk now than I will later. So might as well be invested in something like that. So those are going to be the funds that I'm personally invested in. As you saw there, you saw the performance, you saw where I'm sitting at right now when it comes to my personal retirement account. My wife does have her own personal account. Right now it's not sitting with Vanguard, but I do intend to have that transferred over once we hit a certain threshold, because Vanguard does have a certain minimum that you need to meet when it comes to having your money transferred into them. And my wife has a Roth IRA and an IRA, and part of the reason we can't combine them together is because we would have to pay the taxes on the regular IRA to convert it into a Roth, but that's a whole separate story and video on its own. So over time, we will get that transferred over for her. And I might even go into detail on what her retirement account looks like even currently as well. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, that's going to be the overall view and picture of the retirement account. I know a lot of you guys see that number when it comes to the net worth aspect in the budget reports. So hopefully this kind of gets you guys a little bit more of an idea of kind of where I'm invested in and how I'm invested in. Like I mentioned, I will go into more detail in a future video going into the actual funds themselves, so that way you guys can see the reasons why I chose some of these funds and then how I actually look at them as well too. So those are going to be the ways I do that. So hopefully you guys definitely check that out. I'm planning on making that video here in just the next couple of weeks. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, let me know in the comment section down below how your retirement is going. If you have one started, if you're feeling very comfortable with where it's at right now, and if you have any additional questions, let me know in the comment section down below too. If I can legally help you out or give you some information, I definitely will. Otherwise, if you have very strict or very specific questions that I can't answer, definitely look for a CPA, or even contact Vanguard and see if they can help you out with any of those. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this one for you. I like sharing when it comes to my numbers, so that way other people can feel more comfortable with maybe where they're at, or even more comfortable with asking me questions. You can even email me if you have questions that you don't want to share in the comment section down below. I'd be more than happy to try to help answer those as well for you. If you're not too familiar, my email is TruFinancials@gmail.com. You can just put in the subject line, IRA question or something like that, and then that way I can help curate those right directly back to you. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit that like button, and then share this out on your favorite social media site if you got some value out of it. And if you are still new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much, fellow wealth builders, for watching, and have a great day. All right, if you made it to the end of this video and you would like to continue binge watching, I have 2 more videos for you here. The top video is going to be my most recent release, and the bottom video is going to be the one that YouTube recommends for you if you'd like to continue watching.